Panda show's going live. It's gonna be good. Tune in. You don't wanna miss it. The Panda show's going live. It's gonna be good. Tune in. You don't wanna miss it. The Panda show.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing today? Welcome to Panda Land. Here's another episode. And you know what, guys? This is an episode that I have been so excited about. And I just want you guys to know, and I want you guys to meet these people, but I want you to know all about the nurse's life. So listen here. Welcome to Nurseland. That's the theme of this story. And it's behind the scenes where we're going to dive into the real life stories and experiences of the unsung heroes of healthcare. Now, y'all know, in case you don't know, maybe if you're in the nursing field or in the medical field, you know that May 6th through 12th, that was the time that we celebrated all the nurses and all the hard work that they do. Nurses are the backbone of our medical system, providing care, comfort, and a listening ear when it's needed most. So tonight, we're peeling back the curtain to share the highs and lows, the triumphs and the challenges of life on the front lines. And we'll hear from a couple of ladies that are dedicated nurses who will share their personal journeys and give us an inside look of what it truly means to wear the scrubs. From the unprecedented challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic to the everyday moments of joy and fulfillment. We'll explore how the profession has evolved and what keeps these incredible individuals passionate about their work. So what I want you to do is I want you to sit back. I want you to relax, get your popcorn, do whatever it is that you got to do, and join us. Join us right here as we honor the resilience and the compassion and unwavering dedication of our nurses. So tonight, I want you to do me a favor, put your hands together and help me. I want you to help me welcome Cinchona and Heather to the show. Yay! Thank you, awesome ladies, for agreeing to be a part of my show, and especially you, Heather, because you agreed to this at the last moment after I had a couple of cancels. So I am totally grateful to you. Guys, I know that you guys go through a lot. I used to work at Parkland Hospital, right? And when I worked at Parkland, it was actually during the COVID season. I call myself taking a break from Starbucks. We do something called a coffee break, so you can get that and keep all your benefits. So I was like, let me try something new. So I went to Parkland, and while I was there, I just seen everything that the nurses go through. And they go through a lot. They get cussed out, they get beat up, but they get loved on too. And so I was just like, it's a lot. I don't know if I want, because I remember at a time that I used to say, ooh, I want to be a nurse. I want to do this. Well, I remember, now I was a bad girl, so I got kicked out of school, right? And when I got kicked out of school, I went to El Centro Job Training Center to get a nurse aid certificate. So I was working, and back then, I think Annette Strauss was the mayor. And so I used to take care of her mother. And I really enjoyed taking care of elderly people. So I was like, you know, one day I'm going to be a nurse, but man, that's just too much book reading for me. So I thought I'd leave it to you, more focused, smart people. But tonight, I just really wanted to talk to you guys, just about some of the highs and lows. And again, I want to thank you guys for coming to the show. This here, my friend, is Cinchona. She has a difficult name, King. So if I messed it up a few times tonight, y'all forgive me.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. And this, you guys, on Zoom here tonight is Miss Heather. Heather.
Hello.
Heather, how's the weather out there in the country?
It's hot.
I know it is. It's hot up in here, child. It is. So I want you guys to do me a favor. I'm just going to kind of go back and forth with you guys and ask you a few questions. And, I just want you to give me your honest opinion about some things. So I want each of you guys to do me a favor, and we'll start with you, Cinchona, to briefly share what inspired you to become a nurse and just a little bit about your journey, and about your journey to get where you are today.
Okay, what inspired me? I came from a background of medical field women.
Okay.
And I should say that both of my grandmothers were CNAs. My mom was a CNA. And I have two aunts. My dad, two sisters are both nurses.
Okay.
I can remember the time, this was in the late 80s, when my aunt was going to work, and she used to work in New Orleans, Louisiana at Charity Hospital, which is no longer there. It closed down after Katrina. and she would wear all white scrubs, and my cousins would iron the scrubs, and they were just perfectly pressed.
Yes.
That's my first vision of a nurse.
Is that what kind of made you that pure white? That made you
that pure white, and she wore it gracefully. And then from there, along the way, helping take care of my grandfathers, so I guess that did it. And while I was in high school, when I graduated high school, I graduated with a CNA certificate, a certified nursing assistant certificate. And then from there, I went on to do phlebotomy and EKG technician.
Wow.
Then from there, I was an LVN, and then from an LVN to RN. So I went the scenic route.
Okay.
But it worked for me.
Okay. I'm kind of tripping out. It's like being a nurse, like you said, you took care of your grandfather. And I was thinking about my grandmother, when she got really sick. I felt bad because I didn't finish what I said I was going to start, which is the nursing. And, we hear a lot of stories about nurses, especially nurse aides that come into the home and they don't treat the nurses right. And treat the patients right. And you be thinking, oh my God, I should have finished what I started so that, my grandmother could have gotten the care that she needed. But I'm sure that there's many others out there, that are striving to be nurses and all that. And, later on in the show, I definitely want you to give them a word of encouragement about keeping going forward. Because I don't want them to be like me, get weary and give up and all that old stuff. You got to keep pressing forward because you never know who in your family might need you. And it could be, it could be your mom, your dad in the future. Come on now. We can't just keep throwing our people in the nursing home. We got to take care of them. So, Heather, do me a favor. Can you answer the same question? I just want to know, I want you to briefly share just what inspired you to become a nurse and a little about, your journey to get to where you are today.
Yeah, well, kind of the same as her. My grandfather was a family practice doctor out in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And I was actually born out here in Texas, but he grew up there. And so he was always in the medical field. I grew up with him. My mom really wasn't, but she was a single mom. And I had always been the type of caring for everything, whether it was an animal I brought home or the kid next door I brought home.
Okay.
Always been, the caring type.
Okay.
And so I started as well with my CNA license. I did that for a while and just loved it. And then eventually just went to school, to get a little further ahead. And I just love it. It's just the compassion. And that's why I do home health. I'm not a hospital type of nurse. I'm so emotional. I go into the homes and I connect with everybody. And that's just my passion. I just love to go in the homes and be with the family. And I did hospice for quite a while, but I needed a break.
That's a hard one there.
So right now I'm doing home health. I've been back in home health for about 2 years. But, it's all about the families and what you get to take home. And, I just love it. It's just something I love, and it gets stressful and it's exhausting. I drive probably from Dawson to Dallas on a daily basis.
Wow.
It's
That's
a
dedication
lot.
There. That's a lot. And a lot of gas.
And I get up every day, and the hardest days of my life that I thought I can't do this, my patients are the reason I made it through it.
Amen.
I done it for them. I made it through the day for them. They never know what's going on in my life.
Right.
And they have no idea that they're the reason I keep going every day.
Amen. Amen. So that leads me to my next question. So, which is basically kind of what you just said, but if you want to expound on that, what are some of the most challenging aspects of your job? And on the flip side, what are the most, rewarding moments that make it all worthwhile?
Probably for me, being home health, which is different than like the hospital aspect, the most challenging is going into homes where the families do not help.
Okay.
Or you see patients just not clean, or patients that aren't taken care of, and you can't take them home.
Oh.
You can't help them. You can only be there, an hour to 2 hours, and you're not able to fix their problem.
Wow.
And you just want to go every single day and try to do everything you can, to fix that. Or to see patients pass away young, people who shouldn't be passing away or shouldn't be sick. And so I guess that's hard. Where in the hospital, you see the patient a day and they go home. I've seen these patients over a year. So you get so attached. And then on the other hand, the rewarding part is you get so close with the family. These patients tell you they love you when you leave. They're calling you on the phone at night to tell you good night. They send you text messages. They bake you cookies for Christmas. I mean, it's just a rewarding thing, a daily thing of how much these patients really care about what we do.
All right, amen. So, like, Cinchona, she said, on the flip side, she does it inside the home, so you do it in the hospital. But what are some of the most challenging aspects of your job? And on the flip side, what are the most rewarding moments that, make it all worth it on a day-to-day? Because it's got to be hard. Them 12-hour shifts ain't easy. I know, y'all know I told y'all I've been doing security. 12-hour shifts. How do you stay alert and awoke and just, good?
Yes. So my background in nursing is a little bit all over the place. So when I first graduated as an LVN, and my first job was actually with home health. So I did home health for 4 years. So I totally understand how you go into homes and how some of the patients have families and some don't. Mm-hmm. And some of their living conditions is horrible. At that point, you do have to be an advocate for that patient because that's your job. Mm-hmm. To not only go there and take care of their physical, their mental, and their well-being, but you have to be an advocate for their surroundings.
Right.
And from there, at the same time while I was doing home health, I did jail health as well. I worked at Georgia Allen, mm-hmm. and when Georgia Allen closed down, I was transferred to Case Tower. And that was through Parkland. So I did that for about 1.5 years. And then from there, I worked at a rehab facility, Methodist Rehab. And I worked there for 13 years. And I just recently, yes. And that's unheard of in nursing.
Wow.
And especially at a rehab.
Yes, Heather knows. So nurses typically only stay at a job 2 years, the max.
Wow. Okay.
And then they go on to move to a different specialty, or they move because of more money. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that nurses do. So 13 years at one place is very unheard of. But I actually loved it. At the rehab place, we basically took care of patients that were stroke patients, maybe every now and then motor vehicle accidents, very few gunshot wounds, or just people with autoimmune disabilities, things like that. In those 13 years, healthcare has changed. Mm. And it's supposed to change, and it's forever evolving. But I seen a portion of it to where when I first started there, it was a true rehab.
Okay.
But now that the healthcare system is, and maybe I'm going a little further.
No, that's good. Okay. That's good. Go take your time.
Yeah. So now the healthcare system, now it's all about funding. Should the patient stay in the hospital? Are they going to hurry up and try to discharge them from the hospital, which they're not prepared to leave?
Yeah.
So they was discharging them either to LTEC, but sometimes they're not necessarily ready for LTEC, but then they'll bring them to...
What's an LTEC?
LTEC is like a long-term care facility.
Okay.
So first you have the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get released from the hospital, it's 3 things. They could either go home,
mm-hmm.
they could go to a rehab facility, they could go to LTEC, where it's for a nursing home, right? So the LTEC is mainly for patients that really need long-term care. Say, for instance, if you're a patient that's on a trach, mm-hmm. or on a ventilator, you need feeding tubes, things like that, continuous mm-hmm. care, but you're not as a high level for the hospital, or you costing the hospital so much of money, so they transition you down to LTEC. Okay, that's one thing. The next thing is the rehab. Is you're supposed to be there like typically 14 days. You get your little rehab for as your physical therapy, which is working with the waist down, your occupational therapy, working with the waist up, and they do the speech therapy.
Okay.
That's teaching them how to speak again or how to eat. That. The next thing is the nursing home, mainly when they're really not able to benefit from therapy. So they'll go to the nursing home, and that's probably the end of life,
Okay.
And they can probably stay in the nursing home a few years, but they just don't have the people at home to help take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people that go home.
Okay.
So Basically, that's it.
I wanted to add, now I'm being nosy, y'all.
Okay.
This ain't even part of the question, but see, both of y'all made a statement that, working in the house, taking care of people, like one of the sad things is seeing family that actually, ain't helping or ain't doing their part of the job. And, you have to come back work double, but it's hard for you to see those patients like that. So have either of y'all had to be the adult CPS and call in on them people?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Matter of fact, last week I called APS. Yeah.
For
It's
real?
a weekly ordeal. Oh, yeah, it's a weekly ordeal.
Well, then the family got the right to fire you then, right? So then who takes care of
Well, they don't know.
They can fire me, but that another home health would have to pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know. They kind of know we call, but it's anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a teacher calling on a student.
Yeah.
But you have to. There's homes we go into where you walk in and that person has a diaper on that hasn't been changed, in 3 or 4 days, and they have a gown on that you put on them 3 or 4 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. It's for the patient, and you can't worry about the family, even if they don't have the money or they don't have this, or let's say the daughter just physically cannot take care of the mother.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times APS is not there just to hurt them. They have resources. It's just like when you call APS on a family, like CPS on children. A lot of times CPS does not come out just to take a child.
Right.
They come to help a single mother with resources, with food stamps, Medicaid, finding a place to help with the child, daycare services. So it's the same thing with an adult.
Mm-hmm.
When we call APS, a lot of times they can get Visiting Angels out, which is a company who, will help come out a couple hours a day.
Okay.
We can get other things, or we can, get more nursing in there. We can also show them what to do. So a lot of times you've got a husband who just got a feeding tube and a catheter, and you've got an 80-year-old wife who has no idea what she's doing.
Right.
And now she has to be a nurse in one day because we can't come every day. So she's now got to learn how to change a catheter, empty the bag, do his feedings. And it's just an education thing more than I just don't want to take care of them thing.
Right. Okay.
So.
Man, that's a lot. Check this out. So, like I told you, when I was working in the hospital, I was doing EVS, right? But I was working in the hospital during a very scary time for not just the United States, but for the world, which was COVID-19. And that was my next question. I just wanted to know, like, Cinchona, how did the COVID-19 pandemic change your daily work life and the way you view your profession? And are there any lasting changes that have remained even as the pandemic, has eased up? I also want you to go back to where, the people be sending people home to eat too quick, because they were trying to do that with my daughter. And she was in the hospital 77 days with COVID, and she still wasn't ready to leave, but they sent her on her way. I know it's only so long people can stay, but at the same time, I know some of these people be getting rushed out just a little bit too soon. But yeah, tell me, how did the COVID-19 pandemic change your daily work life and the way you view your profession? And are there any lasting changes that have remained even as the pandemic has, eased up, but it hasn't quit?
The pandemic, it really opened up the healthcare professional eyes. And what I mean by that, no one was prepared for the pandemic.
Nobody.
I had COVID and didn't even know I had COVID before it even went mainstream, because I had just left New Orleans for Mardi Gras. And looking back at it, the mayor was informed about it, but they didn't say anything. So when I came back, I didn't even know that I had COVID. I just thought I was just sick for like almost 2.5 weeks. I mean, horribly sick. And, that's one thing about it. But when it came down to the basic things of just our PPE equipment, and that's the protective equipment,
right?
For as the gowns, the gloves, the proper mask, shoe coverings, we didn't have that. And
so what were you guys using?
Well, we just had to wait till we get it in. I can remember at the last job that I was at, my manager, we had a patient that was suspected of having COVID. They had 2 suspected patients having COVID. And my assignment that morning was I was going to take one of the suspected patients of having COVID, and I was going to have 3 other patients. And this is where your nursing advocate come in.
All right.
This is when you're advocating for your patient. And I told her, I said, I had 2 issues with the assignment. The first issue was I didn't have the proper PPE equipment to go in this patient room. The second issue I had was, why would you split up 2 suspected COVID patients? You would give one to another nurse, one to me, and plus we had 3 other healthy patients. That wasn't fair to the other healthy patients because I have to go in that patient room.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to contain it. Only thing we knew, if we put on this PPE equipment, it may stop us from getting sick. But even that didn't help. We were still going, in and out of the hallway, transferring to other patient rooms. So my thing to them was, I don't have the proper equipment, so I don't want to go in the patient room. And number 2, if I had the proper equipment, I wouldn't mind taking both of the patients and just let me have those 2 patients, because that was a high acuity level. Because at that moment, at that time, when it first started, I was not supposed to go and eat in the lunchroom with my coworkers, because what if I picked something up on my shoes and brung it in there and I got everyone sick?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that, even the healthcare administrators did not know about. The other lasting long effect, it was the patients, where they couldn't see their family members when they was in the hospital. So you was like the mediator,
right,
between the patients and their family members. Their family members didn't know, the status of their loved ones. It was a lot. It was very traumatizing on that aspect too, for them and for us.
Right.
And just going home to your family thinking you're going to bring something home to them.
That had to have been hard. What about you, Heather? Was that hard for you? Because you have children, Heather?
Yeah, I have 2.
So,
yeah, I have 2 boys.
Did you see? I know. I'm just thinking. You say you take care of people in their home, maybe more elderly people. So, did you see a lot of death during COVID? I mean, how did it affect you? Did it make you feel like, I don't know if I thought I wanted to be a nurse till this happened?
I mean, I feel like a lot of, okay, so on the bad side of it, yes, I'm going in people's homes and then getting back in my car, and then going back in somebody's home and getting back in my car. And we have to change outside. So it's like the nurses at the hospital can change outside the rooms and throw it away. We're changing outside in the middle of the road, changing our clothes. And like she said, we didn't have supplies. There was about a month span where we were going in homes with nothing. And we didn't have a choice. It was either do that or you really don't have a job, because there were no masks. There was a time we had no gloves. There was literally nothing. We were wearing the same PPE things in one house that we were wearing to the next house, because there was no
wearing
supply.
masks. We was told to wear mask multiple days. You keep that mask for at least 3 days and don't throw that mask away. And
you're going all over the place with that mask.
Everywhere.
So y'all spreading COVID.
Yeah. And the thing about it was, they would give us, everyone would have this, the outside world really don't know what nursing and medical professions went through. So when they was like locked down because COVID is here, people really should have locked down, because it was horrible. We had like paper bags. You would have to keep that mask for 3 days. When you take your mask off, you put your mask in your paper bag with your name on it.
Right.
When you take off that face shield, you put your face shield in the paper bag with your name on it.
Right.
Make sure that y'all not double gloving, because we're running out of gloves.
Oh,
put your name on your gown and hang your gown in this certain area, because we just didn't have it.
Yeah.
And it's no one was prepared for it. So I really can't blame anyone or no hospitals for that, not having the proper equipment right away. But when they were saying stay put, we should have stayed put.
Or either of you guys like being attacked by the patients, people, like when they were passing away, like if it's your fault? Because I mean, I know you guys were doing all that you can.
I feel like I had it a lot easier than the hospital, because most of my patients were at home. So if my patient had COVID, the whole house had COVID.
Right.
So,
and you still had to go in there with all that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And so, I mean, I feel like unless they got sent, of course, to the hospital, but the whole house was being treated at the same time, because they all had COVID.
Wow.
So they were at least together, where at the hospital, it was only the patient.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that something very good that's come out of the pandemic is now for like the children who are ill and the elderly that are ill, we have so many more services now at home.
Okay.
I can get doctors now come to our homes. All of my patients have doctors that come to the home. We have podiatrists that come to the home. We have x-ray machines. I had a patient the other day think she broke her hip. I had an x-ray machine out there within an hour.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, so, and now we have virtual appointments. Like my son, we live way out in the country. To get to his doctor, that's an hour drive there, an hour at the doctor, and an hour drive home. Now it's a virtual appointment if it's something easy.
Yeah.
Which that came out of the pandemic.
Amen.
Before we didn't have like all this food delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Before elderly people couldn't get food. They couldn't get groceries to their homes. They would have to pay somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Now this stuff is delivered right to their door.
Mm.
So I feel like there is a lot of things that has helped the elderly community and helped that has come out of the pandemic.
It helped all of us because I like home delivery. Tell me this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but if you think about it, we didn't have any of that before the pandemic.
We did.
None of that,
That's awesome.
And so I think there is some good things that have come out of it.
Amen. I'm glad that it's eased up because,
yes.
Man, I was tired of watching them numbers on the TV every single day. I'd like to thought they were never going to go down. And, we even got sent home from Starbucks. And the only thing I liked about that, we got paid to stay at home. But I got tired of watching the same old TV shows. Okay. I need the actors to get back to work because I need some new shows. But tell me this, Heather, because I know for you and Cinchana, like this is nurse life. You guys are just, them 12-hour shifts. That's all I keep thinking. Them 12-hour shifts. They are not easy. So, and you have children. Cinchana has children. You got a husband, and I know sometimes when we leave work, our mind is still on work. Even once we get home, we got to cook, we got to clean, we got to take care of the husbands. So how do you guys manage the demands of nursing with your personal life? And what strategies do you use to, prevent burnout and maintain your mental health? I'll start with you, Heather.
So I don't work a 12-hour shift. I mean, I see about 30 to 40 patients a week.
Uh-huh.
And so I kind of make my schedule and I go out. I mean, some days like it's over 12 hours. Some days it's a little earlier. I think with home health, it's a little harder because once you get home, the phone is still ringing. Heather, what you doing? Heather, what you cooking for dinner? I don't feel good right now. Heather, my bag is leaking. It's like, turn the phone off.
Yeah. Wow.
But I do have a second job as well. And so I have to come home and a lot of times I go to that. And of course we have the kids and it's just, you have to go from one thing to another. You have to come home and you have to turn off nurse life.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to turn it off. If somebody passed away today, you cannot come home and take that out on the kids or not cook dinner tonight because your favorite patient has, passed away.
Right.
And so it is hard. A lot of people don't know, and you can't take that to your next patient.
Right.
If you had a patient that passed away in the house before you, or you heard a patient passed away, you still got to put a smile on your face and go to the next house.
Right.
Or, for her, she's got to go into the next room like nothing's happened.
Right.
And so, I mean, I really think it's like a switch. We've learned throughout the years where you have your switch on, and as soon as it's the next thing, you have to turn it off.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
I worry about you guys' mental health. Like, I don't know. It just seems like so much to deal with. And you, Cinchana, how I just, what was I going to say? I got caught up just a minute. I'm sorry. How do you manage, the demands of nursing in your personal life? And what strategies do you use to keep from being just burnt out, and maintaining your mental health? Now, me, I like massages. All by myself, 2 hours with 2 people. That's the only one I can afford. But that's a good way to block out them crazy Starbucks customers. But with the nurse life, how do you do it?
What nurse life is, it's hard to balance. And I have this issue because when you're at work, you really have to put yourself to the side and your family to the side. Mm-hmm. Because these patients are really sick and they really need you. You're basically their eyes, their ears, their bowels, their bladder, their everything.
Right.
So, sometimes my son may call or text me. I can't answer the phone right away because I'm in a patient room. I'm taking care of patient. But when I go home, I try to decompress. Mm-hmm. I've been doing it for a long time. So basically, when I go home, I try not to talk about work. because when I get home, I have a husband, a son, and a grandpuppy. And they need all my attention. Then on top of that, I'm a business owner. Mm. So it's hard balancing work life, family life, and business. Mm-hmm. But one thing, I do wake up early mornings, and I go to sleep late nights. Mm-hmm. And the one thing, sometime when I come home, I decompress, take my shower, I may have some work to do for the school. Mm-hmm. And I'm on the laptop. And my husband may be upstairs playing video games with my son or something. But when my husband comes down to bed, everything shut down. Yeah. So we don't talk about patients. We don't talk about business. It's just us. Mm-hmm. You know, and it could be just watching movies or anything. But that's one thing that I said I was going to vow to just shut down. So, but it is hard. And I put myself on the back burner always. But I manage. Yeah. That's the only way I know how.
Y'all strong women. That's all I can say. You guys are some strong women, because I honestly don't know how I could do it. Like, that's a lot, just dealing with other people. And I'm such a crybaby. I'd be crying all day at work if it was me, just watching people sick and going through it, and then have to come home.
You'll get tough skin. Nursing, you know, they have this thing now, newer nurses, they glamorize nursing, what they see on social media and TikTok and stuff like that. And no one wants to do bedside nursing or home health nursing. Everybody wants to be entrepreneurs, or they want to go into being sitting at a desk. No one wants to do the dirty work.
The dirty work.
Yes, the dirty work of being on the floor, actually taking care of the patient. But being on the floor, actually taking care of the patient, you get tough skin. Like, when you've been doing nursing for so long, you know your patient normal. Whether you've been with this patient, like Heather, she see her patients every other day or every week. She know when they're not feeling well. She know when they're feeling well. And when they're not feeling well, what she need to do.
Right.
When I'm coming on and I give report, you look at their vitals and you see if they're stable or not. If they're not stable, you go on, okay, this blood pressure is high. I need to get some blood pressure medicine. Okay, their respirations is high. You know, something's probably going on with their heart. Or if their respiration's high, or their pulse is high, and their blood pressure is low, you do all your head-to-toe assessment. You're like, okay, this patient may have some type of infection or something. You know, your nursing judgment just start kicking in. And at that time, you let the doctor know, hey, this is what I see. Can we run XYZ tests?
Okay.
And you know, at that time, the nurse just have to get kind of comfortable with asking a doctor. And once a doctor see that you're about your patient, they're pretty okay with it.
Okay. All right then. I got one more. Well, I got several more questions for you, but we got one more before we take a quick break right quick. And this one, I'm dying to know the answer. But can you guys share a memorable moment about a patient interaction that had a significant impact on you, either professionally or personally? You, Cinchona.
Yes. When I first started doing home health, I worked with this patient. I work with their mom. Mm-hmm. I work with the mom and a sister. Mm-hmm. The mom was 90-something years old at the time, and she passed. Mm-hmm. And after that, I was continues working with the sister for 4 years, and then I eventually quit doing home health. But I kept in contact with the family forever. Mm-hmm. And when the daughter actually would get sick and go in the hospital, they would call me, or I call them, and I go. And the daughter recently passed, so it was actually 2 sisters and a mom. Mm-hmm. So now it's 1 sister left.
Yeah.
And we just have this, it was like I was the nurse and they was the patient. Mm-hmm. Then we became friends, and now we family. Mm-hmm. And like I check on her, she check on me, and if I post something on Facebook,
Yeah.
So that was a very, very good relationship. And it's been going on for, maybe like 13 years now. Wow. And, they see my family grow. I see their family grow. That's so beautiful. You really, is a compassionate friendship is a good career.
That's good. That's awesome. I like that. I like that. I try to always do that too. Build strong relationships. And no, they're going to go past the workplace. But yeah. So you, Heather, tell me, can you share one of your memorable moments about, maybe a patient interaction and, significant impact on you professionally, personally?
This actually wasn't too long ago. It was about a year ago. And I went to go see a new patient. I had talked to one of the therapists, and he's like, oh, this guy's awesome. He's going to just get ready. He's going to kid with you. He's a hoot. He's so much fun. And I'm like, okay. So I walk in the house thinking this guy's like a comedian. It's going to be great. And he's quiet, won't say anything to me. And that day I was actually going through a divorce. My husband had walked out about a week or two ago before this. It was everything I could do to get up and get to work.
Right.
And so I'm there doing my stuff and I get ready to go. And he grabs my hand and he goes, Heather, can I pray for you? I mean, this is like somebody who told me he was going to be hilarious, that he's never serious. And he goes, something just touches me. Something's wrong with you. And this is the first day I ever met this man. And he took my hand and he prayed for me and he started praying about everything I was going through. And I've been seeing him now. It's been about a year. And every time I go, he's never cuts up with me. We never laugh. We never have, never play around.
Right.
And he always hugs me. He always prays for me. And I mean, it's something magical every time I go in that man's house. And that has always stuck with me since that very first time that I met him, and he really changed my day and changes my week every time I see him.
Now, how long have you been doing nursing, Heather?
Oh, about 16, 17 years.
And Cinchona, how long have you been doing
About 17 years.
Well, you guys been in that thing a long time. So I guess in 1 minute, because we're going to take a quick break right quick, but in maybe 1 minute, can both of you tell me the pros and cons of the profession? And what do you consider to be like the biggest pro and con of being a nurse? And how do you deal with the difficult aspects of that job?
Heather, you go first.
Heather, go on, tell me about the pros and cons, girl. What? I want to know. I'm nosy.
The pro is just being with the people every day. The satisfaction you get every day of coming home, knowing you helped somebody, knowing that you changed their life. And I guess that goes on to the con too of, you help these people and then, you can't see them anymore. They get discharged or they go home. And a lot of times you don't know what happens to them. Somebody that you grew so close to so fast.
Right.
And then they're just gone. They're gone out of your life. You have no idea. You think about them, but you can't call them. And so I guess that's probably the con of it. But the pro, I think, is just the way you feel every day. I mean, every day I feel like I have helped somebody or, I have made their day better or something. And it's just amazing.
Okay. It's autumn.
I think Heather answered that perfectly.
Okay. All right, then. Well, check it out, Panda Land friends. We're going to take a quick break, and I want you guys to check out this product that I have here for Welcome to Panda Land, because I do want you guys to help me out and invest in some of it so we can keep this thing going. Because week after week, I want to bring you different topics on everything. And as you know, here on Panda Land, nothing is off the table, baby. If you want to talk about it, make sure you email me at pandaross.com. Or, well, that's the website, but you can also email me at pandaross1969 at iCloud. So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back and finish this show up. Hello, everyone. It's Panda Ross, your host from Welcome to Panda Land. And look, guys, I need all of you guys' help. Look, I know that you don't know what goes on behind the scene, but it costs a lot of money. So I'm asking you guys just for a little bit of monetary help. And what you can't do, if you like to just give a small, is what we call in the church a Pentecostal handshake. I have a PayPal and I have a Cash App. I'll definitely post it up here in just a bit. But I've got some exciting news to share with you guys on some upcoming shows. And in order to keep bringing you awesome content every week, I'm going to be selling all of this here, all of my Panda product. And I have a lot of Panda Land product. Every purchase that you make, it helps fund the show. So not only do you get, quality product, which you get something great, but you also help keep the show running week after week. So I want you to check out some of the product here that I am going to show you. Pick out what you like and feel free to contact me through pandaross.com or either my email, pandaross1969 at icloud.com and tell me what you want me to send you. So check out the products here, and I just want to thank you in advance for helping me. And every little bit of support helps, so I can't wait to continue creating all of this amazing content for all of you. Now, I know I am not a cook, okay, guys? I am nowhere a cook, but I know that some of you amazing people out there are cooks. Let me stand up just for a minute, because I got to show y'all the Panda apron. That's it right there. Look. Yes. Okay, because it is summertime, baby, and I know that y'all shouldn't be out there getting them barbecues on, and you don't want to get your pretty clothes and your nice short set all messed up. So I need you to go ahead and get you one of these Panda Bear aprons, all right? Okay, I have pajamas, and some of us, we hot-natured, and like me, I'm 50, so right now I'm embarking with the hot flash season, so I have to do the little skinny shorts, right? I got pajamas for you guys. And here's some of the shorts, and here's the shirts that go with it. They're thin, nice, material to keep you from getting all hot and everything. And for some of you people who love to sleep with the air conditioner on and stay about 60 degrees, I got longer pants too, you know what I'm saying? And I have different kinds of pajamas. These are not the only ones, but these are some of the ones that I'll be showing you guys today. So I have these pajamas and, of course, shirts to go with it. I have these here, Go on and get your sleep on in some comfortable gear. Now, I also have some wonderful, because some of us get cold at night with that air conditioner on. So I got you nice little Panda socks. We got Panda socks, all kinds of Panda socks with different gear on it. Baby, I am ready for it, okay? You got to get up in the middle of the night, and a lot of us don't got carpet no more. We got them tile floors, so your feet be cold. You need your socks, and you need your Panda slides, okay? So I got some pretty nice Panda slides here. Now, look, I know that we are getting past winter. We about to head and embark into the summertime, which I don't understand it, because I got a granddaughter right now, and as hot as it is outside, she still want to wear a hoodie. And I be downtown and walking around. I see all these young people today. It don't matter how hot it is that's out there. They are still wearing hoodies. So anyway, I got your hoodies. I got hoodies, and I just want y'all to know that, and you already know that life is better with a Panda. You understand what I'm saying? Life is better. Let me fix this so you can see it. Hold up a minute. Hold up just a minute. And this, trust me, it's good quality product. And it's cheap. Just a little something. Life is better with a Panda. Everybody need a little piece of Panda in their life. A little piece of Panda pie. What? Okay. And then I got these right here. I got some more. I got the sweaters, you know what I'm saying? I got some Panda hoods. These ain't hoodies, but these are sweaters. So go on and get your gear. You can get ready for next winter, okay? Because it's coming up. And so, of course, I got them still bad. And this here are just some shirts. You know what I'm saying? Because, with this Panda, with this Welcome to Panda Land podcast, this is how I roll, baby. I need you to roll with me, okay? And if you're just going on a little small trip and, you don't really, nowadays, you don't need no big purse. You need something you can just throw over your shoulder. Hey, I got your little Panda purses. So y'all need to get that. I also have, because, we all lose our keys every now and then. We got some Panda keychains here. And so you need to get your Panda keychain. Don't cost much. None of this stuff. Anything you want to know about the price on, I'll let you know. And I'm going to shock you because the prices are very low, because I'm just trying to keep this podcast afloat. You heard me? And then I got necklace sets. We come with the little Panda necklace and the matching Panda earrings. And then, us ladies, we can't go nowhere because we got to keep our lipstick with us and all our other stuff. So I have some Panda makeup bags. And then I have much more. I've got makeup. I got some compact mirrors and all kinds of stuff. So I am just asking for a little help to keep Panda Land going, and I can't do this without you, baby. We started this together, so let's finish this together. I need y'all to go ahead, log into pandaross.com. Send me a message, whatever you want to know the price about, or whatever product you see here today that you'd like to, get a little bit more information. Let me know. I'm going to take pictures and put all of this on the website, so you guys can go ahead and pick from some of these things and go ahead and help me keep Panda Land. Welcome to Panda Land alive. I know I said that a little messed up at the end. Welcome to Panda Land alive. Okay. And also, like I said, I do have Cash App and I got PayPal. So, go on, throw that little Pentecostal handshake out there. Because y'all know what the Lord said, right? If you don't know, let me know. Let you know. Whatever you do for one of his little ones, you done it for him. Okay. Give, and it shall be given back to you. Press down, shake it together, and run it over. I speak that into your life in Jesus' name. Love you guys. Peace. See you later. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome back to Panda Land. Here we are with the continuation of A Nurse's Life. If you've been with us, you know that these ladies are definitely heroes and they go through a lot on a day-to-day basis. So the next time that you're in the hospital or the next time you get sick, I want you to have mercy and I want you to have patience with these ladies. Don't be going up in that hospital screaming and hollering at people. And if you got your mama at home and somebody taking care of her, can you have a little bit of patience? Okay, and then also a little, all that stuff that's needed. You know what I'm saying? Don't be talking crazy to the nurse. You gotta take care of these nurses because they take care of us, and we never know when it might be our chance to be in the hospital and need one of these ladies. All right. So getting on, ladies. Here we go. So we talked about the pros and cons, and nursing today is what I want to talk about. So Heather, I'm gonna start with you this time. Nursing today versus nursing. Both of y'all been in this thing 16, 17 years, child. That's a long time. Y'all been doing this as long as I've been doing stuff. Hey, we got a little something in common. Nursing today, so versus nursing in the past. How has that role of nursing changed over the years? And like, what improvements or changes do you hope to see like in the future with medicine, with medical, all that good stuff?
That's a hard question. I kind of feel like what she had said earlier. I feel like now it's all about the numbers. It's all about the insurance. It's all about just being a 5-star rather than what your patients need.
That's sad too.
Yeah, and I mean, that's how I feel like it's changed so much, where we have meetings like regarding like how to get 5-star service, how to fill out, how we're supposed to explain to our patients to fill out these surveys, but yet you're not worried about that the patient's not getting therapy right now, or you're not worried about that her supplies aren't being ordered, but you want them to give you a 5-star service. And so I feel like, and this is not even just the company I'm working at now. This is like 2 or 3 companies back, just all like probably in the past 3 or 4 years, is I feel like it's all an insurance thing. It's all about how you need to lie to get the insurance. You're not lie, but how you need to like say things and do this to keep them on service. And it's all about just about getting the 5-star and not about your patients anymore. Okay. And I feel like the good thing is like I said earlier, is that, we do have more things at home now. We do have doctors that come to the homes. We have equipment we can have at the homes, which has changed a lot, where before you would have to figure out how to transport a bed-bound patient to the hospital, or something like that. Yeah,
that's good. Now, Cinchona, like adding on to what she says, what do you hope to see different like in the future? I mean, because we know the things that we got now, like we were talking about delivery and all these things. So those are things that we didn't have in the past that we got now. But even to make things a lot better, like what kind of changes do you hope to see like in the future? Because I don't want to see people just coming in and discharged out. But, what would you like to see? And what do you think that it would take to get there either?
You know what? Heather had a good point. So I'm going to talk from 2 different hospital aspects. Okay. One is a private sector, and one is a federal. Okay. So with the private sector, yes, everything is about numbers. They want this 5-star rating. The way the insurance is set up, and I think the reason why it happens is because the way the insurance is set up. The patient have to meet a certain criteria to ordinary for the hospital to get paid, and especially if Medicare or Medicaid paying for it is another type of criteria they have to meet to get paid. So basically, it's all funded, and far as the supplies, everything is accounted for, which it should be. We need some accountability for that. Mainly when the doctors order tests, they're more careful when ordering tests, whether it could be a lab test or imaging test. So that's in the private sector. So I would like to see the insurance criteria change in that area. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Because a lot of, like, say for instance, in the hospital, they want to discharge you after so many, having a baby. You know, back in the day, you used to be in the hospital a week after having a baby. Now I think it's what?
1 day, 2 days?
1 day, 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Because that's what the
24 hours.
Yeah, that's what the insurance are paying for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the government sector part of it, they are very wasteful.
Okay.
So, and I'm kind of telling on myself of where I work at, but it's very wasteful. So when I transitioned from private to the federal government sector of the hospital, they are very wasteful. We don't count supplies. We don't scan out to different patients. I see the doctors ordering a lot of unnecessary tests, like they're fishing, because it's a learning hospital. And being a nurse a long time, you know what to look for. You know the signs.
Right.
If the patient said that they broke their hip, instead of them doing an X-ray, they're doing an MRI of the whole body. Where they do that at?
Yeah, where they do that at?
So
you're wasting my money too.
You're wasting my money, and it's like they focus so much in the government sector. Is not about the 5 stars like a private sector, but they focus so much on different programs and different things, but it's none of the things that are really helping the patient. I'm trying to go in depth, but not go in depth.
That's good. Don't get yourself in trouble. You good.
So, I don't think the things that they focus on really helps the center care of the patient. I should say that.
Okay. Wow. I'm sad. Okay, tell me this, ladies. Well, I'm going to move on. I wanted to expound on that, but I'm going to leave it alone because I don't want nobody getting in trouble. I want you to do me a favor, Centennial. Well, actually, I want you, Heather. Do me a favor.
Oh.
You're already looking in the camera, babe. Because we're getting close to the end. We got a couple more questions, but this is that, what everything that you guys have been saying has been inspiring, also a little scary. And, and the COVID era probably traumatized anybody who was thinking about becoming a nurse. But somewhere now that it's eased up, they're starting to think, man, I want to go back to that. It's really where my passion is. So I just wanted to know, I wanted you to look into the camera, forget about me, and give a word to women and men who are watching right now who really want to be a nurse. I want you to give them some advice for aspiring nurses. Like, what advice would you give to someone who is considering a career in nursing? Are there any specific qualities or skills that you believe are essential for success in this field?
I feel like the main thing is you've got to have compassion. There are so many people that have come into the medical field recently that I feel like don't like their job or do not like nursing. And I feel like you have got to come into it for the right reason. If you're not there and you don't want to clean up somebody on their bed and you just feel like you can't do that, then you're in the wrong field. You've got to be able to take care of the dirty stuff as well as the easy stuff. It's a all-around type of job.
Right.
And the biggest thing is compassion. You can forget about everything you learned in medical school. You can forget about all of that. It comes down to your heart and you wanting to do this job. Because if you don't have the compassion in the heart, you won't make it. Wow. You will not make it with the hours. You won't make it with what you see. And you'll be running out the door within a month.
It's definitely more than the money then.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. And so you,
it's a special person.
You, Centrona, just tell me what advice would you have for, just inspiring nurses, people who want to get into the nursing field, maybe a little, but, really want to do it. Really want to do it. One is yours. I just want you to talk to the people and tell them, okay. Give them some inspiring words from yourself to tell them what to do or what advice you're going to give them.
Yes, to piggyback from Heather, compassionate, you must be compassionate going into this field. Another thing is, I would suggest they start off with some type of technical program, whether it be an X-ray technician, you can be a CNA, a phlebotomist, orderly, anything. Start off with something small first to see if you really want to do it. Don't just go into nursing thinking you're going to make this whole bunch of money, being glamorized. Oh, we only work 3 days a week. It's not like that. You really have someone lives in your hand and you're the advocate, because you have to think if it was you or your family members, you would want that nurse to advocate for you. And days when you're tired or you going through things, you have to put your feelings to the side and be there for that patient when they can't be there for themselves. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's a very serious career, but at the same time, it's rewarding. And it is fun at times, too. But just make sure that you're going into it for the right reasons. Don't go into it for the money, because you can't say, that's not my job. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of nurses go in there, oh, that's not my job to clean that patient. Oh, go get the CNA. No, it's your job, because the CNA may be backed up, or you may not have a CNA. So you have to clean that patient, making sure that patient, you know, is taken care of.
Amen. Well, look, guys, I know that there's a lot of aspiring nurses out there, and we need you. The medical field needs you. So if that's what you want to do, I tell you now, you can do it, girl. You can do it, boy. I need you to get on out there and get your education and get on in there and help somebody, because somebody needs you. Check this out. We're about to close here. And in closing thoughts, I want to know, Cinchona, what is one message or piece of wisdom that you would like to leave with our audience today, especially for those who may not fully understand the demands and rewards of the nursing profession? And I just say patience. That's a big old word. But what would you have to say?
I'm saying this to the patients or for...
Oh, no, just closing thoughts for the audience.
Oh, closing thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like to leave our audience with a little something today. Just, you know, let them, because they may not fully understand everything a nursing, you know, goes through. And everybody got their demands. Like I say, when they come into the hospital, they're going to be demanding this, that, and the third. I need them to be patient with y'all, but you know.
I was just going to say that.
You can say it again and expound on it. Go for it.
Just be patient when you come into hospitals. Try to be patient, but at the same time, I would say we need to start taking care of our own health.
Yes.
So if we take care of our own health, no one else is responsible for us but us. Mm-hmm. So if we take care of our own health and be aware with medicines that we are taking, be aware of alcohol we are drinking, drugs that we're doing, how it may not affect us now, but it'll affect us in the long run. Mm-hmm. So my word of wisdom is to everyone: if you take care of yourself, your body will take care of you.
That's good. That's really good. Heather, I know you want to just say piggybacking off of that, because that's some good stuff.
That was good.
We got to take care of ourselves.
And know we are tired. And when you see the nurses, you know, give us a little bit of a break, because we're exhausted.
Exactly.
And you're not our only patient.
You're not our only patient.
Oh, that's a good one right there. Because, you know, we sometimes get a little selfish. We think, you know, we are the only one. Hey, you guys, I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to put your hands together and help me once again thank Heather Turner and Cinchona King for coming to the show. This has been an awesome show. You're welcome. I'm glad you guys decided to come on, especially you, Heather. Well, both of you guys. But you know, Heather, I know you came in and saved the day for me. So I thank God for you. And for everybody out there, like I said, these nurses have given us a little insight into what they go through daily. And so keep that in mind when you're in the hospital next, or you got somebody coming into your home to take care of your loved ones. And if you guys have any extra questions that I did not ask any of the nurses, feel free to to inbox me or email me at pandaross1969@icloud.com. And ask me those questions, and I'll be glad to ask Heather, and I'll be glad to ask Cinchona and get those answers back to you. In the meantime, thank you for another episode of Welcome to Panda Land. I want you guys to do me a favor and join in and next week, as we will be coming back with another show next Wednesday. I love you guys, and in the meantime, see you later. Bye.
The Panda Show's going live. It's gonna be good. Tune in. You don't wanna miss it. The Panda Show's going live.